Welcome everybody to the channel. My name is Matt and this is the Gaming Corner. So today I want to do a pickup video. I didn't realize over the last maybe month or two, maybe even just a month, I don't even know, about how many PlayStation games I have picked up. Now lately I've been kind of on a PlayStation kick because I want to show PlayStation 1 versus Saturn titles, just so I can see the difference in the two. You know, with the fact that I am and always have been a Sega fan, you know, I want to see what the PlayStation games look like compared to it, but I want to get further into gameplay to do a better review of the stuff that way wise. But that's kind of what I started doing, so I kind of got into a kick of buying PlayStation games. But today what we are going to do is we are going to show all the games I'll be showing will be played on the PlayStation 3 as I talk about which ones I got. Because I got one PlayStation 3 game, and then I ended up picking up a few PlayStation 1 games. So without, babbling on for too long, let's get into it. Alright, so the first PlayStation 3 game that I got is Ridge Racer 7. So, I do like a lot of the Ridge Racer games. I'll pop up some gameplay footage here for you. And I do like the way that this one plays. The drifting around corners is kind of got me a little off right now. But I am enjoying this one quite a bit. I do think it's pretty good. It does, and I need to do a comparison of this, it does look very similar to Ridge Racer 6 that I also have on my 360. So I want to do a little comparison between the two to see, did they just leave the tracks the same or what? But, alright, so there you go. Ridge Racer 7. Definitely a fun game. Definitely a pretty good racing game. I don't even know if they're even making the Ridge Racer series anymore. I haven't heard anything on it lately. The next game that I picked up is kind of an awkward one to pick up. I thought I had one of these on the Saturn, and I do not at the moment. But this is kind of a strange sports game to grab. But in reality, it's a very relaxing sports game. So that game happens to be bowling. Yes, I picked up a bowling game for my PlayStation. Now, as you can see here from the gameplay footage, it's nothing too hard, nothing too awkward. Most bowling games are actually really fun. I actually bought this bowling game after Tony's little surprise thing where he put a bowling game in for the Atari. I went and I bought this bowling game because bowling games are really relaxing and fun. You know, they're kind of a turn your brain off and play game. So it makes it a lot of fun to play those games, especially when you just want something to do just for maybe 5-10 minutes. A bowling game is well worth it. Now, let's move over to the next sports title. Now, this one I did pick up because I actually do have two of these style games on my Saturn. And what I didn't know about this one is it's more of a cartoony style game than the 3D polygons that Sega used on the Saturn version. But it happens to be tennis. Tennis is one of these games that, again, you really can't turn off your brain fully because you do got to watch where the ball's going and that, but they can be some really fun games when you get moving on them. When you understand how to hit the ball and all that, and you get some really good volleys going back and forth, tennis can be a really fun game for that. Next on the list, we are moving into a racing game. Now this is a racing series that I'm trying to pick up all of them that were on the PlayStation. And I finally got this one now. It is Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, that 3? Yeah, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 3. So far, this one has been really good. My favorite older Need for Speed game still to this day is High Stakes. But this one's really good. Like I said, I am after all of the Need for Speed titles that I can get. I still need to get like Need for Speed Porsche and stuff like that. But I am a fan of the Need for Speed series. Even some of the new ones are still really, really good. But, you got to have some Need for Speed. Some racing's really fun. I haven't tried the cops yet in this one. But the Need for Speed racing game can be a lot of fun. Next, I am a huge fan of flight games. I love flight games. I love shooting down planes and all that. And I got really, really curious on this next one I'm about to show. And it is Top Gun Fire at Will. Now, the gameplay footage you're going to see here, the gameplay footage you're about to see here is extremely boring right now. They're trying to make this like the Top Gun movie. You're in Top Gun training camp and all that, and you're going through just training stuff. This part has been boring as hell. I am finally up to where I can start doing the missions, so hopefully the game will pick up some. But yeah, so far it has been dull and dry. I'm not going to lie. Graphic-wise, looks great, but the game is just so dull when you're going through the training camp stuff. They had that drag on just way too long. Just way, way too long. But physically wise, once I get into the campaign, I'll see if the game gets any better and maybe do an actual review on it. We'll see. These last 4 games I picked up so I could do a comparison between the PlayStation 1 version and the Sega Saturn version. So I can see exactly, you know, did the PlayStation add extras to it? Kind of like the Bill Walsh College Football, how the Super Nintendo version had extra stuff on it, graphically wise, compared to the Genesis. So that's what I want to find out. Do they have anything extra? Now, the first game, I've been a huge fan of this series up until recently, probably about, well, until the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 came on out, and they did a little bit, ever since Ultimate Team, I guess would be the way to put it. But it is Madden 97. This is back when EA was still making better football games, in my opinion. And as you can see here from the gameplay footage, you know, it's definitely not as nice as like Madden 2000 stuff like that, where they went to 3D polygons. But the gameplay itself has always been fun. It's Madden, it's football. There's not much to say about it. I just want to see if it's any different than the Saturn version. So I had to pop in here for a minute in the gameplay here of Madden on the PS3. Look at what's happening while it is sitting still. Now when I start moving stuff, let me go back into the game here once. All right, okay. So watch what happens while it's moving. While moving, fine, but watch what's going to happen when we sit still. You start seeing the lines pop in again. Look at that. Holy crap. All right, so we're going to pop this into the PlayStation 2 and see if it has the exact same issue. All right, so here we go. Madden 97 PlayStation 1 game now in my PlayStation 2, which is also backward compatible. All right, so far it's already looking better, but let's find out. I'm going to pause the game here, and we're going to see if it does like you saw on the PlayStation when I had the game paused before I interrupted it. I wonder if it's because the PlayStation stretches it out further than what it can do. All right, so let's sit here for a minute and see if we get that funky line thing. So it does look like I'll have to play Madden on the PlayStation 2. All right, that takes care of that little experiment. Let's go back to the rest of the video. Let's move on to the next game then, because I'm not going to show a whole lot of football stuff. This next game is the first game in the series for this one. I'm trying to say it without giving it away perfectly. A lot of parents hated this game because of the character that was in there, because, you know, she had triangle boobs that everybody thought was realistic looking. That should have gave it away before I showed it up here. But that is the good old Tomb Raider game. So that is the first one. Now I have it also on the Saturn already. Now I got it on the PlayStation. This one took me a bit to find. Now I did get this from a place called The Pad up in Appleton. I was up there for a job interview, not at The Pad, but at a different job. So I got this when I was up there. And I'm not going to show a whole lot of gameplay footage yet because I'm still in the very beginning intro of the game. It is still very early in the gameplay. But I think a lot of you already know what the original Tomb Raider game looks like. They just did a remaster of them, which I still need to get my hands on the PC. Or on the Xbox or the Switch or something. I need to get my hands on that yet. But yeah, it's Tomb Raider. The tank controls definitely, if you're not used to them, take a bit to get used to. And that, but so far I'm enjoying it. I don't know which one's better. I don't know if the Saturn plays better than the PlayStation. No clue. I understand there was some sort of a graphic thing that the PlayStation do with the Saturn. A lot of people say the Saturn couldn't do it, but it could. But they didn't do it in Tomb Raider. Let's move on to the next game that I need to do a comparison of. And this is another EA title, which I did not know of at the time until I bought it on the Saturn. But it is Battle Stations. This game on the Saturn I already like, and I've already tested out this one too. I can't tell at that particular moment if either of the two games have anything different, but the little bit of the like arcade action that I'm doing, because I'm not doing any campaign stuff yet, is a lot of fun just blowing up the ships, especially if you take a bigger, stronger ship than what the computer did. It's a lot of fun. The battles start off way too close. I wouldn't mind having a little bit more variety, but physically wise, man, this game is fun. If you get a chance, find Battle Stations, you know, even if it's for an emulator, and just give this one a shot once. I think this one's a lot more fun than what people think. That leaves the final game. This final game was originally on the 3DO. It came to the Saturn, made by 3DO, I do believe, and then I'm not sure if it's a claim or if it was somebody else who did the conversion. It does say 3DO still on the box, but this one my son picked up. He showed me it on his 3DO, and then I had to get it on the Saturn. He went and bought it on the Saturn right away, so I got mine a little bit later. But man, when I saw that the PlayStation had it, I had to get it there too. And that is Starfighter. You get a free flying flight game here, space type one. And this is still just the beginning part of the gameplay that you're seeing here. But man, the stuff that they allow you to do in this game is a blast. Blowing up buildings, shooting the ground targets, just the way things blow up in the game. I actually, on the Saturn version, made it through round 1 already. So I got to get further in the PlayStation 1 before I start doing a comparison video. But just look at how great this game really looks. I would love to see an updated version of this game. I think with today's graphic power and all that we have going, man, it could make this game killer. We'll probably never see it, but man, it would be a blast. Alright, well, that was all of the games I picked up so far for the PlayStation lately. Like I said, for some reason I've been on a PlayStation kick. I've been watching more. I actually went through all my PlayStation 1 games, and I found a bunch that I've never even tried yet, and some of them came from the mystery bags. So I have been playing out those games right now, just seeing what they're like, and I'm just having a blast right now doing some old school game playing. So I do want to thank everybody who has joined up to the channel, everybody who has liked any of my videos, who have subscribed. I thank you guys for that, and I hope you continue liking my content. Hope things for me get better. Give you guys a little health update. I tore something in my knee, so I've been out of work for almost a week now because I can't work when I really can't walk right. So I got one more week of being out of work before they take a look at my knee and see if I need surgery or what I have to do with that. And my cats are fighting over in the corner. Go fig. But alright everybody, now that I rambled on and I got distracted by my cats fighting in the corner, this is where this video is going to end, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.